Hi, everybody. Welcome to this final session of 8 sessions of Monsterhearts 2, Wayward Souls. That has been running on the Open Hearth Community for the past couple of months. And so we have our full contingent of PCs here today and players. So we're raring to go for the last episode. We're going to go according to the principles of Monsterhearts and keep it feral. So we don't know if we're going to tie up every loose end. We'll just see how things proceed. We're not going to put that pressure on us. Let's keep it wild and unpredictable, and we'll see what happens. We are going to be playing with a layered set of safety tools and also the Open Hearth Code of Conduct. And so the safety tools we'll be playing with are the X card at any time, at any point. If something's happening that you feel uncomfortable with, just make the X sign, either like this in the chat, vocally, however you want. We'll take a pause. We'll find out what it is that we have to remove. We'll excise it, rewind, whatever we need to do, and then we'll move forward with the narrative from there. You don't have to explain why you're X carding anything. We also have a tab on our keeper, which has our lines and veils. Lines are things that aren't going to appear. Veils are things that are going to only be maybe alluded to, but not appear on screen or be talked about in detail. And we have a few ask firsts as well. So things that you, before you include them, you might want to ask the table about it. Or you will want to ask the table about it, actually, I should say. And then open door policy. Anyone can leave at any point for whatever reason. If you just need to step away, life happens, that's fine. If you can let us know when and whether you are coming back, that will be helpful. Okay, so those are the safety tools that we are working with. Okay, so we're going to start off with some introductions of the players and also the characters, the PCs, player characters, and maybe you can tell us a little bit of what your character was up to last time or last episode, the penultimate episode, and we'll go from there. So I am just going to pick in the way I see you all on Zoom, and we'll go in that order, and that puts Travis last because he wasn't with us last time, and so that'll be good. He can get a little bit of a reprise of what we've done so far. David, would you like to start?
Yeah, hi folks. I am David S. He, him pronouns. I am playing as Chloe the Infernal, she, her. Last time we spoke, if I recall correctly, it was a lot of me and Belinda. We were hanging out quite a bit in Belinda's room. I was unsure if we were really kind of even sort of dating or not. It got to be sort of complicated because Belinda had to cop to the fact that she was sort of deliberately setting Mario up with another person so that Belinda could have me instead, and I was betrayed. And yet at the same time, I feel like Belinda's the only person who can really save me from the Shadow Queen because Belinda's a dragon. It's very complicated. So that's kind of, I think, where we are with it. I might be leaving something out, but it's the
There
big...
was some stealing of some things from the catacombs, as I recall.
Yeah, we got that skull with the antler, brought that to a wooded grove. I left it there, and I don't know what happened to it other than that I probably did the right thing by running away quickly the minute I set that thing on the stump, because otherwise I think I would have been sent away to Fairyland or something like that.
Cool. Thank you, David. Donna.
Yeah, hi. My name is Donna. My pronouns are he, him. I'm playing Belinda, the worm, she, they. And I guess how can I summarize last week's session from her point of view? Guilty as charged, Your Honor. So a difficult night for Belinda in copping to her manipulative ways and helping Chloe steal something valuable from the catacombs and getting an inkling as to the dark power that is about to run rampant, I guess.
Great. Thank you,
Spoiler
Doug.
alert.
And Stephen.
Hey there, I am Stephen, he, him, and I am playing August. Oh, I think it was actually he, they on my character sheet. I wrote he, him here. August, the last time we saw August, he was being a truth teller, I guess. Having a bunch of conversations, folks, like a really like much easier conversation with Belinda than usual. You know, Belinda said that she and Detective Girl aren't friends, but you know, that's just Belinda. Of course they're friends. Maybe Belinda thinks they're not friends, but I mean, I think the fact that Belinda thinks they're not friends is evidence that they are friends. Yeah, I tried convincing my mom that me and Belinda are dating. I said we had sex and everything, and she didn't believe me. Yeah. I think those were the main things August got up to last time.
Mm-hmm. And I do remember, for Alistair's sake, you escaping from his basement bedroom, half clothed, and riding off on your bicycle, but being spotted by.
Oh, right. Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, there was something like, yeah, and currently I'm not sure who's invited to the party, but I think like I think I could make Chloe my +1 and Chloe can make Alistair her +1, because that's how +1s work, right? Right, Belinda?
Definitely in some other place or some other mouth.
In some teenage mindset.
Yeah.
No, that's what the invitations that Belinda has.
It's a +1 recurring.
Yeah. +1 recurring. Yeah, they say
it's an exploding +1.
Like an exploding kitten. Yes. All right. Great. And so, Travis, tell us the last thing you remember from Alistair's perspective. You were with us last time, and introduce him to us first.
Excellent. My name is Travis. My pronouns are he, him. Alistair is my character. He is the witch. Pronouns also he, him. Last I remember was a special night spent with August, but I understand from where the game started when I wasn't able to be here last week that Alistair and August were found out by Alistair's brother as Alistair was getting a ride into town from his brother, and that's when August got caught sneaking out of our house that I'd snuck him into. That's what I know. So what was the brother's reaction, or do we just know that he knows? Did you play that out at all?
So that's the first little glimpse we'll see.
Okay.
As your brother's dropping you off at school that morning. It's been a quiet ride, and as you go to get Alistair goes to get out of the car, his brother Jeb tosses a couple of condoms in his lap and winks at Alistair and says, "Good going, bro." And he punches you in the arm a little too hard for your taste. And then you could just jump out of the car right there, or if you want to. What would Alistair do in that situation?
I think Alistair, definitely very uncomfortable, will pick up the packets of condoms and sort of just acknowledge Jeb, nod, and get out of the car without saying much. Put them in his back pocket and pick up his backpack and his camera and head into the school, purposely not looking back at his brother.
Excellent. And then the glimpse for August, I think we see August arriving back at it's a mobile home, right? August.
Yeah.
Yeah, and on the doorstep of the mobile home is a large box. And then we see August taking the box into his bedroom, putting it on his bed, opening it up, and inside is our clothing, his clothing ensemble, including, shoes and some formal wear. And the formal wear that August pulls up out of the box is something that's perfectly attuned to his tastes and almost and perfectly tailored to him as well. What does it look like, actually, August? That clothing that you first pull out of the box.
I think it's like a dark emerald, almost like dark green, maybe verging on emerald. I think is kind of the color I'm thinking of, a dark emerald. I think that there's also like I think there's like because this is what kind of ball is this, Belinda, we're going to?
I think it's quite formal. A lot of self-important or even important people will be there, looking down their noses at everyone
Yeah,
else.
I think there's like a kind of crown headpiece type thing that's been made of carved antler.
Oh, wow. Nice. And then as you pull out the headpiece, you notice that there's another outfit underneath.
Okay.
Stuff, but you pull some tissue paper away, and there's another outfit. And this outfit is perfectly, and you recognize this when you pull it out, tailored for Alistair. Alistair,
Okay.
tell us what it looks like when August pulls it out.
So this one is black tux, black shirt, with a like hot pink puff and hot pink socks. But very I think they're the kind of formal shoes that they would call slippers rather than, not lace ups or anything. They're just very formal, very fancy black shoes, but just hints of the pink coming through.
Great.
And a little pin. It's a good spring animal, so it's a little bunny pin, just on his lapel with a pink gem for an eye.
Perfect. Bunnies. Excellent. So
the person who sent it clearly wants to remind folks that he's being hunted.
exactly. Bunnies are hunted and good at hiding in burrows, but will fight when provoked. Great. And then we switch to a glimpse of Chloe. We see a basketball bouncing on the asphalt. And as the camera pulls away, we see Marcus at the hoop in front of your house, Chloe.
Mm-hmm.
And he grabs the basketball, he catches it, and as it comes off the backboard, and then he looks over, and you're coming up the sidewalk from school in the afternoon, and sitting on the stoop of your house waiting for you is Mario.
Oh, shit. Okay.
Mario looks bleary-eyed, like he's been crying, and he's just holding his laptop. And he stands up and looks like a lost puppy as you come forward. How do you respond?
Hey, you okay?
And Mario just moves towards you, and he grabs you in a big bear hug and buries his face in your shoulder.
Oh, God, but hey, what's wrong, dude? And I'm just like holding him and hugging him, and like I feel like this should feel better than it does.
Mm-hmm. And then the last thing we see in this scene, I think, is your little brother Marcus rolling his eyes as he watches this scene.
Oh, okay.
And we can follow up on that later. But let's switch over to a glimpse of Belinda. And I think this glimpse, what we see is Chloe running through the desert. And she's wearing the dress that she picked out for the ball. What is that dress like, Chloe?
I'm gonna be just really on the nose, and I'm gonna say that it's straight out of the Stravinsky ballet. I couldn't think of anything better.
Sure.
So it's gonna be very Slavic, and it has smackings of sort of Slavic paganism about it. I'm gonna lean a little bit into maybe some folk horror, and I'm gonna say that I have maybe a like a goat mask on a stick that you can kind of hold in front of your face in kind of a masquerade sort of way.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I'll put something in the chat if people aren't familiar with those ballet costumes.
That'd be awesome. But in this a glimpse that we have, the costume is in tatters. And
Oh, okay.
you are in the desert, and there is a chain that is somehow attached to your sternum. We don't know exactly how, and we don't see who's holding the chain, but we just see you being yanked along by the chain and grunting every time it happens. And there's a look of despair on your face. And then the image breaks, and we see Belinda waking up. She's at a desk in the yearbook office, and this was a vision that she had in her little cat nap on in the yearbook office. And we see Luna, who's in the cubicle next to her, kind of eyeing her as she wakes up.
I mean, we prefer to call them slumbers, right?
Slumbers. Periodic slumbers.
Periodic slumbers, yeah.
Okay, so those are the glimpses we get. Like I said, you could follow up on those, or you could just leave them where they are at. Going back in the order that we just did, we might as well stick to that order. Let's find out if there's a scene that that Alistair would like to have. This is, in the day or two before the party. Yeah, see if there's anything that you want to do, Alistair.
Well, I think really just connect with August to get the suits and make a plan to meet up before the party. How do you feel about that, Stephen? Just a short one at the coffee shop?
Sure.
So August, what do you do when do you recognize when you open that box that this is an outfit for Alistair? Do you call him? Do you set up an appointment? Are you going to surprise him? What are you going to do? Have you guys talked actually since? I don't think you've talked since you did the deed.
No, I don't think. Well, I don't know. Like, I guess if Alistair wasn't showing up at school, I probably would have tried calling him, I guess. But I guess we established it. He did show up at school. We just haven't really seen him on camera.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, I probably threw some balled up notes at him during homeroom. Like, there are a couple, like, when he finally turns around, there are like a couple balled up notes flying around the feet of his chair.
Perfect. Hey, what's going on?
And it has them like coffee shop, yes, no, check boxes.
I think that just will make Alistair laugh. I think he'd find that cute to, and fill it out and circle with a red pen for yes, coffee.
Okay, so that's how we arrange the meetup. Just to clarify.
Perfect.
Yeah, no. Then when Alistair gets there, I have this box.
What?
What was that?
I'm just ready to jump in. Are you ready, or do you have another little descriptive thing? I was just waiting to hear.
Oh no. You can jump in. I just was saying I have this box. If you
I
want
was just
Okay.
going to ask whether
Oh.
did you bring your outfit as well or just his?
I don't know if I'd bring my outfit here because like it's the coffee shop. I'm not gonna lug around 2 outfits with me.
Okay, good. Okay, sorry. Go ahead.
Hey, what is this box? It looks fancy.
So I'm not really sure where this came from, but when I got it, it felt like you should have it.
Okay.
Oh yeah, and Belinda invited me to her parents' weird, probably murder party. Uh and I'm pretty sure I have a +1. Well, like technically I'm giving the +1 to Chloe, but then I'm also going to have Chloe give her +1 to you. So you should come with me.
Okay.
But I think
Great.
maybe you could wear this, and I kind of
Flourish.
hold the box across to you.
Whoa, this looks expensive. Where'd this come from?
Um, I don't really know.
Okay.
So what was it was just like the box was completely unlabeled, right, Jose? Like it was there at my place when I got home, and there weren't any labels or anything on it. I thought maybe you had managed something somehow, or Belinda decided that she couldn't have us dressing as plebes at her party, so
Okay.
and just couldn't tell and had to like come up with a secret way of giving it to us because she's Belinda.
Yeah. Wow. Does Belinda know about us? Is that how you got 2 suits? Wait, does your suit look like this?
No. Mine has less pink in it.
All right. This is beautiful. I love this. Um, Sorry, back to my other question. Does Belinda know about us?
I don't think I said anything, but like
Okay.
I have to assume. I think it's always safe to assume that Belinda knows everything,
Right.
and then just like work back, and then just like figure out what the things she doesn't know are.
All right. Okay. All right. Um, yeah, well, I mean, I'd love to go to the party. I can't wait to wear this suit. This sounds awesome. I can't wait to see yours.
Good. I'm glad.
Are you at all worried? Like, are you all weirded out by these suits just showing up at your place?
I mean, a little bit. I mean, why? Look, I don't really know who would like. I said Belinda, but I feel like Belinda wouldn't be this nice without charging for it.
Right.
And I don't know who else it would be from.
Okay. Right. Well, I mean, it'll be fun to dress up and go out. Are we going out together? Like, are we out together, I guess is what we're saying? What I'm saying?
If you want to be.
Hey, yeah, I had a weird experience with my brother. Not a bad one, just a weird one. But I'm a little less nervous about it than I was the other day. So Fuck it. Yeah, let's do it.
Mm. I think I lean into kiss you then.
Amazing.
Yeah, I think we'll cut the scene there then.
Yep.
Sounds good. Perfect.
Very fun.
All right. Let's move to Chloe and see what she's up to. Is there a scene you'd like to call, Chloe?
I mean, just really quick, why was Mario on my doorstep crying?
Do you want to follow that up?
Yeah, I mean, probably.
Yeah.
Because I like this guy, and if he's hurt, then that's gonna direct probably a lot of whether or not I choose to stay with the Shadow Queen come the pivotal moment.
Right.
Yeah, and maybe if you need to like go out and murder everyone who hurt him.
Yeah.
Right. Depending on who done it, someone's gonna catch these hands. So I just need to know who. So I mean, that's what I'll be doing. I'll just be questioning him, like, what's going on.
All right. Do you do it right there in front of Marcus, or
I'll shoot Marcus a look, and I've given him that look before, so he
your
knows.
little brother?
Yeah.
He puts down his he grabs his basketball and he goes into the house. And Mario says, I'm really sorry showing up at your house this way. I told you at school today, you know, that Yasmin broke up with me, and I'm nervous about this piece and Belinda finding out, and maybe even her dad as well. And when you put your arm around me in homeroom today, it just felt like you were the only person I could talk to about it. And I just feel like, I don't know, I just had to see you. And he looks up into your eyes. Is this weird? Sorry if it's weird.
No, it's not weird at all. I just want to make sure you're okay. I mean, I didn't know you felt so strongly about her and all the. I mean, you guys must have been close.
I thought we were, but you know, we'd only been together like a week, but she just dropped me like a hot potato, and I don't know. I've been crushing on her for a while, to be honest, Chloe. But I don't know if my heart's broken or just I just had so many expectations about that relationship, and when she broke it off so quickly, it just felt like I didn't matter.
I know what it's like to be hurt by someone you care about. So, I don't know what to say, Mario. I'm sorry. I'm here for you.
And he reaches out for your hand.
I'll give him my hand.
Yeah. And he says, thanks, it really helps. I don't know why it helps, but it does, Chloe. I know you and I haven't been that close, but it just feels like you're like a safe harbor for me. And he takes a step closer to you.
Yeah, I mean, of course I'm here for you. You're great. And I'm not actually moving in on him.
Mm-hmm.
I think this feels sort of wrong in some ways to be making a move when he is so clearly vulnerable.
Wow, restraint on Chloe's part. Amazing.
I think I identify too much with his position.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Okay.
Is Mario going to the ball by chance?
I don't know if he has an invitation. Belinda, would you have given Mario an invitation?
Not a chance.
That's a chance.
Just another +1 to the chain.
But I assume, Belinda, you already had invited Chloe already.
Yeah, technically Chloe is the only person I invited, but I guess August had swept in there, and I think I had been convinced to extend it to him last time. I would suspect that Alistair's inclusion will be enough of a surprise without Mario coming in on it too.
Always good for surprises. Yeah, because I think those invitations, the ones that your mother gave you to hand out, say you are invited. You and your guest are invited. So there is a +1 action to it. You might not have read the fine print, Belinda, when you gave Chloe one of those, or even August one of those. So, Chloe, you don't know if Mario has been invited to the party. Do you want to invite him as your guest, or do you want to not, or what's going on in your mind?
I'm actually not gonna invite him.
Okay.
Yeah. I'll let him know that I'm here if he needs anything, or even just to talk, but I'm actually gonna sort of not invite him to this ball because I think I know it's gonna be a shit show, and I feel kind of protective of him, and I want to shield him from that. So I'm happy to close that there if you want.
Okay. Sure. So we'll just close that on you and him sitting on the stoop of your house there, with some space between you, but his hand in yours, and he's still talking, maybe talking it out. All right. So let's move over to Belinda.
I mean, I think I should be leaning on Mario.
You could.
One of my ancillary wishes, I guess, because last time in the homeroom, it seemed clear that the story, or at least the teaser to the story, had been released, and given our interaction in the coffee cafe, I know he's writing it. So I'm gonna corner him.
Okay. Yeah, sure. And you also saw the photo, right?
Yeah. I mean, I'm trying not to think
Associated
about
with,
that.
and you saw the two of them talking in homeroom, just connecting all the dots that are happening in Belinda's mind. Yeah. So
yeah, I mean, if I'm going to go all jacuzzi on Chloe, I need some moral high ground, and that is short in supply.
So
I'll stick with Mario, right?
Yeah. How do you find Mario? Do you find him? Is it at school, or is it after school, or do you know where he lives? Where do you go looking for
Do
him?
I know where he lives? I mean, that is. Yeah, maybe I show up on his doorstep. Maybe just after he gets home from Chloe's place.
Yeah. Okay. And so I think he's coming up the street. He's walking, and you see him. You're there on his doorstep. No one's home, but you see him walking forward. You've maybe been waiting in ambush. Is that the correct term for him? And he stops, and he's maybe 50 feet from you, something like that. But he spots you. And I think he turns around and he starts trying to walk away at a brisk pace down the street.
Mario, I'm here. I see. You have to come home sometime, right? Let's just get this over with.
He'll stop, and you're there on the sidewalk.
Okay.
And he turns around and says, "Oh, hey, Belinda, I had just remembered that I left something at the coffee shop, and I was gonna head back."
Okay. Well, let's go back to the coffee shop.
Good idea. Good.
Yeah.
Good
Well, I
idea.
mean, if you left something behind, then you.
Yeah. I'm pretty sure I left it there. Yeah.
Mm.
My sunglasses. I left them there.
And I presume they're not on his head or
They're
something.
not on his head. He's not wearing them at the moment.
Okay. Because that always happens to me when I've misplaced my glasses, right?
Or when you can't find them. Yeah.
If only I had my glasses on, I'd be able to find them. So Mario, I saw the teaser for the story. I mean, everyone saw the teaser for the story.
Yeah. It's coming out on Sunday.
And
I just want you to know that you're a journalist. I'm a journalist. I tried to be fair. I tried to be objective. I tried to just include the facts.
and that's why you have a salacious photo.
That was my decision. He kind of wants to drum up some excitement about the story before Sunday.
So the purity of your story is really down to the editor, or do you still have control?
I
mean, it's your story, right, Mario?
It is my story, yeah.
Okay. So, how much are you getting paid?
Paid?
How much are you getting paid? Don't tell me you fell for exposure.
No. He is paying me. He's paying
Okay.
me. He's paying me. This is the first time anyone's actually paid me for my writing.
Okay.
Kind of shocked. But should I tell you how much he's paying me? Is that right?
You should, yeah.
Are you sure? Okay.
I'm pretty positive.
He's paying me $1,000.
Wow. Yeah.
I think that's going to get traction.
That's a good rate. So,
the photos, really
Mario, how about I buy your story instead?
But then no one's ever going to see it.
Sure, but you'll get paid double for a good story.
But then I'm not in this for the money. You don't even know what's in the story.
Well, I want to read it before anyone else does. And I'm pulling a string on Mario, right?
Okay. Yeah, you have a string on Mario. You can pull it.
Yeah.
And I think in order to fall for this temptation, Mario will demand something. Will need something in response.
$2,000 isn't enough.
No. Because he isn't actually in it for the money, although the money is going to do him some good.
Yeah.
Let's see. What does he want? What could you tempt him with?
He wants to be editor next year or something like that.
Oh, editor. Yeah. Editor, like of the newspaper.
Yeah. Well, I guess whatever. So I think someone had said we are juniors, so we're seniors next year. So maybe I pass along the editorship to him for our final year. I don't know if that's.
So you see him hesitating, and then how do you propose this this new bait?
So yeah, I mean, I think I say something like, well, now that you've seen how influential editors can be, you want to take a shot at this?
Me? But you're the editor of the paper.
Yeah, this year.
So if I give you this story, you'll give me $2,000. And you'll make me editor next year.
Well, maybe $1,000 in the editorship.
And what do you do with the story?
I mean, I'll read it. I'll send you some notes. I'll drag my red pen over it, and I'll I don't know, put it in a drawer somewhere.
Okay. But I own the story, so I can sell you the story. But I'm not actually the owner of the pictures.
Well, I realize that. I mean, I know who took the pictures for you.
You do? Well, I guess you'll have to talk to Chloe, but you wouldn't hurt Chloe, would you?
Nope.
He puts out his hand. Deal.
I guess I shake hands on that. I revolution the first installment.
Venmo him. Yeah, go ahead. His phone bings and it says, "Okay, we're in business." And then he pokes at his phone a couple of times, and you get a document with the file. Shall we cut it there?
Yeah, and so obviously this is like the arrangement is for the article not to get published, right?
Do you want to add that caveat now?
Well, no. So that was at the start. That was like
that's what it was.
yeah.
I sold you. He sold you the article now, and so he's going to withdraw it from the paper.
Because there's only so much trouble I can get into with my parents.
Yeah. Okay. We will leave that there. And looks like we're getting close to the top of the hour. So why don't we go ahead and take our first break here and come back at the top of the hour. All right. See you soon.
That's good.
See y'all then.
Thank you.
Well, I think Belinda, after that interchange with Mario, and he goes walking off, and you start heading home, you get a phone call from your dad. Are you going to pick up, or are you going to ignore that call?
I'm going to think about ignoring that call. But I guess I got to pick up.
Daughter, you've made a mess of it.
Of what exactly?
Have you seen what's threatening to be published in the Picayune on Sunday?
Yeah, I just took care of it.
Took care of it. You've killed the story.
Yeah.
And the pictures?
The pictures requires another visit to the photographer.
And how did these photographs, how were they acquired?
You want me to explain cameras to you, or camera phones, or
Don't be impertinent.
or something different?
Tell me who took the
Appears to be my only option at the moment. I'm taking care of it. You either trust me to do it or you don't.
Well, I trusted you with the security of the house. deal with the photos and the story and punish those who are responsible. Make an example of them so everyone knows they can't mess with our family. And do it quickly, Belinda. The party is upon me, and I don't want anything going wrong tomorrow night.
We daren't have any scandal for the Spring Fest.
I'm trusting you, daughter. Don't let me find that my trust has been misplaced. And he hangs up on you. And Chloe, you receive a text from Mario. And it says, Belinda knows about the photos.
I'm gonna call him.
Okay.
Mario, how?
She just ambushed me. She was at my house. She paid me to kill the story, Chloe. And she told me that I could be editor next year of the paper. That would let me publish whatever I wanted.
Well, this is a win, right? Then, like, just kill the story and you get a promotion and everything's good, right?
But I told her that I don't have the photos, the originals. And she said she knew who had them. She knew it was you, Chloe. I'm sorry.
You didn't tell her, right?
No, she already knew. I'm pretty sure she already knew.
Okay.
I'm sorry. I was really intimidated. She's really intimidating, and she said she knew, and I don't know. Maybe she didn't use your name before I did.
I'll talk to her. I mean, there's nothing else you can do on your end. I'll talk to her and see what she wants. Thanks for letting me know, though.
She said she wouldn't hurt you, Chloe.
I know.
She said it.
Yeah, no, she wouldn't do that.
Okay, be careful. I'll call you later on to find out what happened.
Okay, yeah, I'll be in touch. Thanks for letting me know. Don't worry about it.
Okay. All right. So see if there's any other scenes that people want to call pre-party or pre-arriving at the party or pre-prepping for the party, anything like that.
I did want, let's see, I think was it Rowan that had left me some kind of message that I needed to talk to him?
Yeah.
I think that's the thing I'd probably get around to.
After you show Alistair the outfit.
Yeah.
His outfit.
You know, priorities.
Have a snog at the coffee shop.
Yeah.
Rowan's actually when Alistair leaves the coffee shop, Rowan is actually working that day.
Oh, okay.
So he's right there behind the counter. So he's conveniently positioned for you. So you can approach him.
Yeah, I walk over. Hey, Rowan, you sent me a message?
Yeah. Hold on. Let me see if I can get someone to cover for me. Who's the other person who works there? Oh, Yasmin.
Yeah, I was gonna say that's like the poor choice right there.
Yasmin, can you cover for me? Just I need to take my break. 10 minutes, 10 minutes.
Yasmin, I assume nods and like takes some notes.
And he says, let's go out back. He takes you out back, and he says, there's maybe an alley behind the coffee shop where people take their smoke breaks and stuff like that. And He stops for a second. He looks at you and he says, I don't know how to do this exactly, but maybe I'll just show you. And he pulls out a sketch pad and he shows you a drawing that he's done. And he says, have you ever seen this before? And the drawing is the drawing in the NPC tab that I put under the Fairy King.
I space out and hang on a second. Yeah, I space out and gaze into the abyss, I guess. I guess when he shows me that, I mean, I can't think of anything else I do here. I feel like that's the obvious thing that happens.
Okay. Yeah. All right. So when you gaze into the abyss, name what you're looking for.
Oh yeah, I should give myself the XP beat right now.
You don't know you're going to fail.
Well, I know, but I meant the XP for showing up.
Yeah. Oh, the attendance at XP. Yeah, definitely.
Yeah. Because I am going to just bump my dark up to 0 for reasons. Yeah, so let's see here. Is this...
Did you have a move for... Oh, that's only when you're...
Yeah, it's only in Blade Bathing in Darkness. Bathing in Moonlight, I should say. Oh, I thought it was over here. Isn't it in the info tab? There it is.
The dice roller? Yeah. Oh, sorry.
Yeah, I found it. Nope, that +0 didn't help me at all.
Okay.
See, August's mistake is trying to get any information at all about the world. August should just, like, go proceed through the world, like, acting on instinct like I have been doing with them the entire time.
I'm gonna say that you pass out at that moment and fall and you'll take 1 harm. You hit your head against the dumpster as you fall and take 1 harm. And there's going to be another aspect to this failure later on, but I'll tell you what that is when it happens. And you awake to Rowan leaning over you, saying, "Are you okay?"
Yeah, I mean, what's up with that? What's up with that drawing of yours? Why did you show it to me?
Why did you faint when you saw it? What happened?
So, like, what was the experience like for me of fainting? Was it like lightheadedness? Was it
lightheadedness? And then maybe you had a montage of like all those nightmares that you've had, and then you suddenly just lost consciousness. Yeah.
Yeah, it reminded me of some dreams I had.
That's it. He comes in dreams. He comes in my dreams. Does he come in your dreams as well?
No, man, they're not sex dreams.
I don't mean that. God, you're always... Whatever. Dude, he visits me in my dreams.
Okay.
God, mind him.
I mean, he doesn't visit me. They're just dreams.
Well, why the hell is the same guy visiting you and me in dreams? Just last time he came, I heard your name. it's like he spoke. I couldn't see his mouth. I've never been able to see his mouth, or it's really his face very well. Just his horns, and he's tall. But I heard your name, and that's why I reached out to you. I'm sorry, this is really weird, isn't it? But you're dreaming about him too. What the hell is going on?
I mean, this is gonna push August to make some more bad choices here. Because I just immediately I'm freaked out, and I just am like, Rowan, I don't want to hear about this crazy bullshit. They're just dreams. Like, I don't want you creeping on me about this again, okay? And I'm shutting him down.
Okay.
Like, I have to. Like, what?
It's too weird.
I know. Not shutting him down would mean acknowledging that he's saying something true.
Right. Don't want that.
That's a 4.
Jesus Christ.
See? You see? You know, if we had a couple more sessions, I actually would be hitting the point of like getting a season advance.
You would, it's true.
I'm at like 3 advances now, and I'm like 2 XP to my next one. I know.
I'm going to save this one.
That's fair. That's fair.
I'm going to save this one.
You know, we needed this party to be a disaster, and I'm laying the foundation.
Yeah. You're laying definitely the foundations. And I think Rowan says, okay. And he backs up and he says, sorry, but something's going on with you. You just fucking fainted when I showed you a drawing that I made. And I got to get back to work. But if you ever want to really talk about this, you know where to find me. And then he goes back into the from the alley into the coffee shop and leaves you there, still sitting. He actually was going to help you up, but then he decided not to. And we can cut there if you want.
Yeah, I think we'll cut there.
Okay. Alistair, is there anything else that you want to do prior to the party?
I'm thinking, this is my thinking face that you can't see.
Okay, imagine your thinking face as well.
Thank you.
Let me see if I might have some suggestions, but I'm not sure. Let's see.
I mean, you have to figure out how to lift a hex or cast a new one, right?
Right, that is
On
true.
purpose.
You do have that. You do have the threat from Belinda about the hex, or you could cast a new one if you wanted to.
Right.
So just so you know, the way the witch works, with the sympathetic tokens that you have, you can do it from far away. You don't have to be near them. So if you use a sympathetic token, you can hex anybody you want if you have a sympathetic token on them, and use it to lay whichever of the hexes that you have, which you have all of them now. Just so you know. I don't know what state of mind Alistair is in right now. Maybe he's in a love state of mind with August. I don't know where he's at, but
Right.
where you would want to go, that is an option open to you mechanically.
Okay. I think August is pretty just sort of warm and fuzzy at this point, excited for something you didn't expect to get to, excited to get dressed up and go out with August, and just sort of anticipating the party.
Mm-hmm. Is he worried about Belinda at all?
I think he is feeling a little newly empowered, discovering that he has a little more power than the last time they had a head-to-head.
Yeah, I'm just taking a look at something. Because I think you have a condition called afraid of Belinda.
Yeah, that's
Just
true.
to remind you of that one.
Okay.
So you're going to be going to her house.
Yeah.
you might want to try to lift the hex, but you don't have to. You could keep her in honest mode for the party.
Right. Well, that's fair. Sure, I will. Since I somehow got an invite, I will try to lift the hex on Belinda.
Okay.
Yeah, just go into this spring fete with a new beginning in mind. Mostly, I'm just excited about spending time with August while we're all dressed up and having fun.
You want Belinda ruining that, right?
No,
So
keep her happier.
Imagining that this is a gaze into the abyss roll, where you're going to try to figure it out.
Okay.
How to lift the hex, since you don't really know off the top of your head.
Right.
But how would you imagine Alistair going about doing this? Is he on Tumblr? Is he looking through books? Is he just meditating? What is he doing to try to figure out how to lift the hex off of Belinda before she kills him?
Right. I definitely think Tumblr. He's done some time outside in the back shed, just playing around, figuring that stuff out, and it didn't necessarily help all that much. So I guess he's gonna do a deep dive into Tumblr, feeling a bit of a sense of urgency to see if he can figure out the subtle hints that are there for lifting a hex on the queen of your town.
Princess, at least.
Yes, there you go.
All right, so we know what you're looking for. You're going to roll with dark, and your dark is high, I believe. It's a +1.
Okay, so at a +1. 2. Okay.
Okay.
An 8. Nice.
It's an 8.
It's something.
Yeah, it is definitely. So what's going to happen here is the abyss is going to show you something confusing and alarming visions, but you will get your answer nonetheless. And I think as you're looking through all the Tumblrs, you start zoning out a bit, and all the images start mushing together, and all the words start mushing together. And you have a really terrifying vision of you with your hands around Belinda's throat. And mumbling a series of words that are nonsensical to you, but they are burned into your mind. You will remember them. And that is your answer. You do have the ability to remove the hex, but you will have to do it with your hands around Belinda's throat.
Ooh. Well.
So, what do you do at this point? This is we'll say it's the day before the party. Are you going to wait for the party to do this, or are you going to reach out to Belinda?
Yeah, I'll text Belinda. You know what? I'm going to text Belinda an apology. And just say, yeah, just that I'm sorry, I took things a bit too far, and I'm hoping we could meet up, just if you're in town, just maybe for just a quick second so I can say this again in person.
I guess the first thing that goes through my mind is this is the text I will send that will make you know that I've been kidnapped, kind of thing, right? But I'll text back, sure, whereabouts are you?
Well, I can. Do you want to meet me at the guess the office was the yearbook office is a bad idea. Do you want to meet me at the bleachers behind the school? I just want a couple minutes of your time to apologize.
Okay, yeah. Doesn't sound suspicious at all.
Okay.
Which is what I text back, right?
Yeah. I'll meet you there in an hour.
Sure. I mean, I don't know that the truth magic extends to me texting, but I'm not taking any chances.
Okay. Yeah.
Oh, okay.
So you just keep it short.
Yeah.
Okay.
So yeah, I'll show up.
So
Okay.
I'm imagining this is kind of maybe twilight, evening is beginning to come down. This maybe the night before the party, and you're out behind the bleachers. There's no one else out here at this hour. And Belinda, I assume you come alone.
Yeah. That's. I mean, I can't recall if that was in the instructions, but yeah, I'm coming along. I mean, who would I be able to rely on to come to me for this kind of thing?
A kidnapper would have definitely stipulated that.
Yeah. Alistair?
Yeah. Hi. I'm over here. Thanks for coming. I wanted to just say how sorry I am. This is all kind of new to me. I didn't know what would happen. And just to make this moment a little bit weirder, but so that it comes to an end faster, I've been spending time trying to figure out how to lift this hex on you. And I think I have an idea. Obviously, I owe you an apology. Obviously, you would have reason not to trust me. But I think I have an idea. Are you interested in hearing that idea?
I mean, it must be really bad if you're being so squeamish about telling me.
Well, I mean, honestly, I feel pretty badly for how this worked out. I didn't really know. It was kind of just just a defensive move I just did so quickly, and I was really upset. And honestly, I feel quite badly about this. So yeah, here's what I learned. And honestly, I don't know how to make you feel comfortable with this, but it doesn't have to be threatening. Are you interested in doing this, in just taking a chance on this so I can get this thing lifted off you?
I mean, this sounds like something we could sell tickets for. You're playing this very dramatically.
Yeah, well, honestly, Belinda, you terrify me, and I panicked a bit the other day, and I know that this has had some consequences for you. So, well, okay, I'll just say it. In my trying to figure out how to do this, trying to figure out what I did, I figured out that I don't have to hurt you. This doesn't have to hurt. It doesn't have to take long, but and I won't do it unless you say it's okay. But
is this how you chat up all the girls, Alistair? This isn't going to take long.
No, listen, Belinda, honestly, I'm just kind of just nervous about. So here, I'm just gonna get in a little closer. All I need to do is and I'm gonna lean forward and go for just touch your neck, both hands on your neck, and see how things go. Jose.
How do you respond, Belinda, when he reaches out towards your throat?
I mean, I kind of like, recoil a little bit because he just does it, right? He doesn't explain it beforehand. Wow, Alistair, I didn't realize you were like this. Okay.
Alistair,
I better not have a bruise for this fucking party.
No. Listen. Yeah, no. Absolutely. This doesn't have to hurt. All I saw and trying to figure this out is all I have to do is just put my hands around their neck. If it makes you feel any better, I don't know. If you got a stick or something, you can just poke it in my throat in case something happens. What would make you feel comfortable-ish in this instance?
I mean, I think maybe the camera sees Belinda already has like a length of pipe in her hand, right?
It just slips out of her coat, out of her jacket.
Yeah. Yeah. I believe a safe word is required in these circumstances.
Okay. Yes. Absolutely. Whatever you need. What? I mean, let's pick something that wouldn't possibly. I don't think it's gonna hurt. I don't think it'll take long. I just need to, according to what I saw, I just need to put my hands around her neck.
Okay. Well, I'll say Zanzibar, and then you will stop, or I will bludgeon you to death.
Understood. Yeah, that's good. Okay. Yeah. Okay. So you stand still, do whatever you need with that pipe to feel comfortable. And okay, here I come. Jose, what would it take to put a binding on her?
Same way you did it before. You can hex her the same way you did before, even without a sympathetic token. You can hex her to her face, and that will bind her.
Can I switch hexes? Do we think? I don't know. This is pretty fancy.
So you've got two things that you're trying to do too. One is remove one hex, and the other is to potentially add another hex. I think you can't do them both at once.
Okay. Then I will push down Alistair's poor impulse control and just take a deep breath and move in and put my hands around her neck and see what happens.
And as you start chanting, you feel
all those words. Yep.
All those words start coming back to you, and you start chanting them. You start squeezing her throat. You realize that you have to remove the hex from her throat with some pressure. And as he's doing that, Belinda, you realize you couldn't say Zanzibar if you wanted to at this point. And I'm wondering if you might be afraid, Belinda, and whether there's a keep your cool move here for you. But you tell me.
Yeah, I think it seems likely. I should probably pull a trick out of Steven's book and spend my session or get my session XP and take an advance. Right?
Take your advance right away. Yeah, go for it. Yeah. Go for it. If everyone wants to take their session XP right now, since this is the last session, you won't be able to use it. You can use it right now.
Yeah, and I guess I'm afraid that he is gonna kill me right here and then.
Yeah, because his eyes have gone red again, and he's squeezing your throat, and he's chanting in tongues, and that's kind of scary. Even though he did give you a lot of caveats before he decided to jump into this.
They are not worth the paper they're printed on, right?
You can't lie, but he can. Oh, you keep your cool with a 10. Nice.
Okay. Yeah.
So you do keep your cool, and the insight that you have is that this is what's necessary to remove the curse, and that he's not trying to hurt you. But you also have the insight that that Alistair is a fucking powerful witch that doesn't know what he's doing, and he could go ballistic on people left, right, and center and not even realize that he was doing it. So he is a danger.
I mean, do I get to ask a question specifically?
Or... Oh yeah. Take one. Let's see. Oh, ask a question. What you? keep your cool and gain insight. So maybe that's what I was doing, the gain insight. And you can ask a question, yeah. And take one forward to acting on the information.
Yeah. How can I make sure that Alistair never hexes me again, or cannot hex me again?
Ah,
That seemed like a fair question.
that does seem like a fair question. Alistair, you do have a token on Belinda, is that correct? I can't remember.
Oh,
I was looking before. I think Belinda's kind of the only one I haven't.
Yeah, she might be the only one that you don't have a
Yep.
token on. You have tokens on everybody else. So I think the answer is you can't stop, because you can't stop Travis from hexing you. Okay, let's do this though. I think there is let's say that there's an artifact in your father's hoard that you have seen. Say it's a ring. And that ring would protect you from a hex, a face-to-face hex. But you cannot, also that you cannot let him get a sympathetic token on you. Because you would not be able to stop that, even with the ring.
Okay, yeah, cool.
Okay?
Yeah.
And so then, as we play it out, Belinda...
That's the hex removal machine.
And the hex is removed, your eyes go normal, and you release her, and she gasps for air. And I don't know if you feel shaken up by this, Alistair, because you didn't realize you were going to squeeze it that hard.
Yeah.
And yeah.
Oh shit, Belinda. Oh shit. I'm so sorry. I didn't know it'd be like that. All I understood was just hands around your neck. Are you okay? What can I help you?
Well, maybe you should just, know exactly what you're doing next time you hex someone, Alistair. How about that? But
Yes.
No, I'm fine, and you are still my favorite person.
Perfect.
And I will smile at that and start walking away.
Yeah, there you go.
Okay, we can end the scene there. Okay. All right, then it makes sense now to move towards the party. Let's start with Chloe. We haven't heard from Chloe in a while. Chloe, how are you getting to the party now that you have? I assume you already have your outfit that you borrowed from Belinda.
Right. I have a direct invitation, right? So I'm not just someone's +1. Okay. Is someone else have I given a +1 to someone else? Hey, August maybe?
Well, I think maybe August is going to give his +1 to Alistair, right? So
who did I give my +1 to though?
Yeah, but wasn't there a chain of invites?
A chain of +1s. Let's assume everyone can get.
Yeah.
Let's assume everyone is. I think Belinda gave you one of those engraved invitations before the shit went down in homeroom, where she saw you talking to Mario about and the picture showed up, and the confrontation with Ella happened. So you've got an invitation. You could just show up at the party, or you
unless it matters how I get there, maybe just say I get there.
Okay.
Yeah, I mean, yeah.
Yeah, well, maybe what we'll do then, we'll assume that everyone's getting to the party, and August and Alistair are probably coming together. Belinda will be at the party. Obviously, she lives there. But let's start off with maybe a paint the scene question, and we'll do a go around. As you arrive at the house, at the Marcham house, what's something that you about this party and the setup and the people that you notice that tells you that there's something about this tradition that goes beyond just idle entertainment. It's not just a party. And why don't we start with Chloe, since we were on you, and we'll go in character keeper order from that.
I was gonna say there's fairy lights everywhere. I don't know why that would mark the party as significant as opposed to just being strange.
Like, what do you mean by fairy lights?
You know, like the little you know, outdoor lighting,
Like the outdoor light, right? Actually, you can see the cords, right? They're not just hanging in the trees, the little lights, right? Or you can actually see the cords.
Right. Yeah, I'll go with that for now. The lighting is strange.
Yeah, and it might be that since it might be an indoor and outdoor party, maybe it's part in the garden in the house as well as in the house, so the house is open and the gardens are open as well. Yeah.
Oh, I have an idea. Okay, there's statuary all over the grounds, which is not unusual by itself, but they have put blindfolds on all the statues.
Great. So it's kind of like an Italianate garden with sculptures and at the crossroads of the paths, and all those sculptures are blindfolded. Yeah. Cool. All right. Let's see, Alistair. What's something about what you see as you arrive in your great outfit, your bunny outfit, that gives you a sense that
Just a bunny pin. Just a celebration of spring. Could have easily been a little yellow chick. Something springy. I think that on the outside of the party, at the back of like the yard or whatever it would be called, there is the back half of what people can see when they go out the door before the woods or before the fence. I guess we talked about the fence. The back half of that is actually covered in snow. And if you stand there and watch it, you can watch there's an illusion, let's say there's an illusion of the snow at the edge melting and flowers popping up.
Wow, cool. Belinda, something about the party that makes it seem more than just idle entertainment.
I think there's some like a not explained ritual or action that people are taking when they get in. There's this huge earthenware jar on the table where normally you might have, you know, potpourri or the latest lilies or whatever. People are putting their hand into it unseen, and like they're taking out like a marble. There's like these intense black or white marbles in there. You don't know what you're gonna take out when you reach in, and you just put in your pocket. And like after having looked at it, you know, or whatever. So, something very strange that certainly we don't understand, but maybe the people who are here properly do.
Mm-hmm. So everyone, as they enter the party, has to reach into the urn and take
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Great. August, what would you add?
To the party?
Yeah, to the party, yeah.
I think that there are guests that like no one at the party can recognize immediately. Like there's this sense that they should be there, but at the same time, like if you ask people what their name is, who they are, like most of the guests that like many of the guests will just like draw a blank.
Okay, mysterious guests, unnameable guests, right? Excellent. All right. And since we're on August, so I assume August and Alistair, you arrived together? Or do you?
Yeah, yeah.
Yep.
Arm in arm? This is your coming out party, right?
They threw it just for us. At least that's how it feels.
And I think after the picking of our marble from the urn, at this part of the party, at the very beginning of the party, there's actually Eustace and Adelind are welcoming people. There's like a receiving line, I suppose, at this early juncture of the party. And so as you step up to Eustace and Adelind, Eustace says, August, I was expecting to hear from you before now. I thought we had an agreement.
Oh yeah, I pull out some random like scribbled on pieces of paper from my pocket. Like they just have really pointless observations about Belinda. Like likes gummy worms, dislikes gummy cherries.
And Eustace takes one of them and looks at it and looks at you and says, gummy worms.
Oh, I wasn't even intending that.
They're very funny, August. You have a sense of humor. I like that. Keep an eye on my daughter. I want to know who she hangs around with, not what she eats. Remember that we have an agreement. But enjoy the party, boys. And Chloe, I think when you come through the receiving line, it's Adelind who speaks to you and says, my dear, so glad to see you again. It was a lovely breakfast we had the other day now, wasn't it?
Yes. Pleasure to see you again. Thank you for allowing me to come to your home again. It's very, very nice.
You really must come more often. Now, I'm sure Belinda is eager to see you. I think I see her over there in the garden. If you'd like to speak with her, I'm sure she'd be delighted to hear from you.
Well, we are becoming quite close, so thank you for pointing me in the right direction.
Welcome to the party. And so do you go over to Belinda?
Yeah, let's do that. Because I'm not good at being by myself at parties. I need to find someone to hang out with.
So go ahead, approach Belinda.
Yes. Belinda, you don't recognize me initially because I am done up so much. I feel like I have almost like full white face with the red geometric patterns on my cheeks. It looks a bit off. But upon hearing my voice a second time, Belinda, you're able to make the connection. And I stroll up to you, fairy lights kind of glimmering against my face and against these clothes that you've picked out for me. And I'll come over to you.
Hi.
Hey, we should probably talk.
We probably should.
Can
I start?
Yeah.
So, just so you're aware, I'm able to lie again. but I
Okay.
promise I won't.
Okay, well, you wouldn't have been able to say that if you had to tell the truth. So, okay, makes sense. Look, Mario told me about the conversation you had with him.
Yeah, so I guess his ambition means he is quashing the story. And I mean, he could be brighter, because when I said I knew, I suspected, but I said I knew, and then he dropped your name. So not exactly great at keeping his sources secret. My my dad is on the warpath for me to punish those who wrote the story and took the pictures. Do I need to bribe you to withdraw the pictures from the Gazette too?
No, look, it's fucked up. I shouldn't have done it. I just did it to impress Mario, and don't even worry about it. I can consider it done. It's not worth it.
Okay. Obviously, I'm not gonna punish you. He's very into his wrath and making an example, and all that bullshit.
Right. Yeah. So, look, can we just start over on everything? Like, I don't know. Like, I've done some fucked up stuff. You've done some fucked up stuff. Like, I feel like we should just call it even. I don't want there to be hard feelings with us. And I don't even know how I feel with Mario anymore. He doesn't even like me. I mean, he does, but it's a rebound kind of a thing. If Yasmin hadn't dumped him out of nowhere, I don't know that he'd really even be that interested, you know?
Harsh. Okay, yeah. Yeah, so enjoy the party, stay with someone, or me, or whatever, because who knows what kind of wacky shit is going to happen tonight.
I feel nervous saying this, Belinda, but do you mind if I linger around you a little bit? Just because this is your turf and you're the only one who knows about that thing I brokered a deal with. So if things go weird, I'm probably gonna be coming to you. I hope you don't mind.
Nope.
Okay. Well, I'll see you around. I'm gonna go see if I can find August.
Okay, well, I'm sure August will land on his feet somewhere.
As you step away, there's kind of a murmur in the crowd, kind of as if everyone's attention is being drawn towards the receiving line. And as you all look there, you see a party arriving of a number of people. And one of them is a tall man, very striking in brown, kind of like a brown tuxedo in velvet, and he towers above everybody else in his height. And what you notice, August, right away, is that somebody is with him that you know, and that's your mother, Anya. who is on his arm in a very beautiful, also emerald green, like your own outfit, dress. And she looks, her face looks passive, and not the face of your mother that you recognize. It is the face of your mother, but not the, it's almost expressionless, as if she were hypnotized or not herself. She's looking off into the distance. And then you also see in that party of 3 or 4 people that Rowan is there in this party. The picture that I put underneath the Fairy King in the NPC tab is what he looks like right now, and as he arrives. But August, as you look,
Rowan looks like that?
No, the Fairy King looks like
Oh,
that.
okay.
But as you look at him, you see a silhouette of a crown of antlers above his head. Everybody else does not see this, but that's what you see. So let's take a break right here. We're at the top of the hour. Let's take 5 minutes, and then we'll come back and proceed. All right, see you soon. And let's start with August. August, how do you respond to the Fairy King's entrance into the party?
Sorry, I'm just trying to sort out my screens here.
Mm-hmm.
There we go. So I wanted to clarify, like, are we, like, this party is kind of in the outside area of the place, right? Or are we inside?
I think we said it was inside and outside.
Okay.
I think maybe people enter from the gardens. Yeah.
Okay. I mean, oh boy. I guess I think I think I'm probably like step forward and meet his gaze. And I am seeking audience with the Fairy King, I guess.
Yeah, I think what happens when you meet his gaze is he kind of smiles, but as you try to move towards him initially, there's it's almost like there's always someone in the way, or he's just beyond your reach, and you can't quite get to his party. But as you start gazing into the abyss, we'll see what actually happens here. And what is it that you're trying to are you
I
trying to
want to
learn
know
something?
who he is, yeah.
Okay.
And I'm bathed in moonlight now, yes?
Sure, yeah, definitely. You're bathed in
Okay, so I'm rolling with a +3.
the moon is up, it's full, and
Yeah, I think August almost in this moonlight, there's something uncanny about him, like his skin and eyes have the glint of silver to them in the moonlight. That's a 10. I actually rolled a hit.
You did roll a nice solid hit.
Yeah, so in addition to the base results of gazing into the abyss here, the Fairy King reveals to me a hidden string on someone else, and I gain it.
Got it. Okay. So I think what this looks like is as you're moving now through the crowd, something shifts for you, and you're not making a direct beeline towards him, but you're weaving almost like in a dance through the other guests across the garden, and there is a sense of purpose to where you're going, even though it's not a direct line towards him. And you know exactly where to step and how to step, and there's a sense of certainty moving forward. He sees you coming and acknowledges you, And as you see him now, you see him with the rack of horns, and you see him shining in a way like no one else does at the party. It's almost like he's glowing. 1 second, sorry. Sorry about that. Where were we? Oh, yes, he was. He's glowing, and as you're moving towards him, it's very clear that he's inviting you and wanting you to come forward, but also acknowledging your ability in and of itself to find him even when nobody else can, and you feel a kinship with him. You feel like there's something of him in you, and you. It's easy enough to connect the dots that he is actually your father, and that you have kinship with him. And you make it into his presence, and your mother is standing right at his side, but doesn't even acknowledge you as you come forward into the presence of the Fairy King. And what do you say?
What? How? What's going on?
You look well, my boy. I see you got the present that I sent you. It indicates your outfit.
I mean, you sent this? How did you find us? What's going on with Mom?
Oh, your mother has given me a merry chase, hasn't she? But she's fine, my dear. She's fine. It's good for you and I to have an opportunity to talk without your mother's interference, shall we say. A son needs his father. We've been apart too long. Your mother has hobbled you with ignorance about your true heritage. Don't you want to learn more?
I gulp and say, I think this is yes.
It's time for us to get to know each other. Let me take a pause right there. The mechanic on your move is that you. Sorry. With
They reveal a hidden string on me and I gain it.
Oh,
I mean, not a hidden string on me, a hidden string on someone else.
on somebody else. Okay, yes, got it. So I want to keep that in the back of my mind as we move forward. And he reaches out his hand to you, and he steps away from your mother. He says, "Come walk with me, boy."
I take his hand.
Okay, let's cut away from you for a second. I want to ask the other three of you to paint the scene a little bit at the party now. What is it about what's happening right now that shows you that there's fairy magic at work within the party now? And let's see. And I can say one thing, maybe I'll start. And I say the string quartet that's been playing is beginning to play tunes that are not recognizable at all and are somehow dissonant and make you feel unsettled in your belly, like something's awry, something's amiss, something's not quite right. And there are flower petals that seem to be sprouting in all the food as well. And it may just be Stravinsky, you're right. So of the other three of you, not August, Belinda, what do you notice about the party that shows that there's some fey magic at work?
I think I will build on my earlier aspect, which I didn't know where it was going, but now maybe I do. When you go to the drinks buffet and get your glass of whatever, you show your marble, and anyone who shows like the white marble is getting something that's very obviously fairy, if you know what to look for, right? It's definitely this ambrosia style of drink, and anyone who walks away from there is probably exiting exiting into the winter door or whatever it is.
Got it. Great. Travis, would you like to add something? What is it that Alistair notices that indicates that there's fey magic at work here?
I noticed that all of the people hired to work the party who have been in black pants, white shirt, just typical, and black vest kind of thing. I notice that the ones I can see from where I'm standing have cloven hooves.
Mm-hmm. Nice. And you do notice also that there is one that doesn't have cloven hooves. A waiter.
Yeah.
And you didn't realize it at first, but now you realize that it's Billy.
Oh,
and
yeah.
Billy is all cleaned up and clear-eyed. It looks like he's not high. For the first time ever you've seen him. He's not high. He's not self-medicated, and he's very clear-eyed. And he's stepping through the crowd in a very purposeful way. Chloe, what do you see that indicates that fey magic is at work?
We never really noticed it before, but there's garden spiders everywhere now.
Garden spiders?
Garden spiders, yeah, non-venomous, small, docile little things, but they have these very extravagant webs, and the webs almost look like they have kind of an uncommon sort of patterning to them. The dewdrops are hanging on them, and they're shimmering in a sort of otherworldly way. And there's a lot of these things, like more than you would expect for this time of year in this part of the country.
Right. Spiders. They be spidered. Spider in the garden. Alistair, you saw August walk off into the crowd, and he couldn't quite track where he was going, and he almost disappeared. He disappeared on you, and you had maybe 2 drinks. You had gone to get drinks, and you have 2 drinks in your hand. But then you hear a familiar voice just behind you, and it says, "Hey, Al." And you turn around and you see Flip.
I knew that. Hey, Al.
Flip
Yeah.
does not look mangled or ghost-like or phantom-like. He looks fucking hot as hell. As hot as you ever saw him.
Yeah.
And he comes in close, and he's in a tuxedo, and he smells of sage. And as you smell that, you remember all the times that you felt attracted to Flip, but couldn't express it or couldn't even acknowledge it. That time by the swimming hole in the quarry, when he took off his clothes to swim. And he comes in very, very close to you. And he says, how are you enjoying the party?
Despite all of that confusion and nice smelling, I'm mostly mad that he's disappeared. And I'm a little bit mad about what he did to Chloe, although I imagine in this moment that's not top of mind. But I'm mad that he's been gone so long. I'm going to take a swing at him.
Take a swing. Okay. You're going to lash out physically.
Yep.
Okay. You got to roll with volatile.
With volatile. -1. All right. Well,
Here we
there
go.
we go. What can I do? Is there anything I can do to give myself some bonuses or a bonus?
No, I don't think you don't have any strings
Yeah.
on flip,
You're right.
which is what you would allow you to.
Yeah. Yeah. I have Flip's old phone.
Yes, it's true. You do. I don't know if you have it on you, but you might have it on you. Or you could attempt a hex flip.
That's true.
He's right in front of you, so you don't even need the phone.
Right. Okay. Okay.
But you are. Others may notice.
Yeah, fair. I'm gonna try to put Wither on him.
Okay.
Going for broke.
All right. So, do you say anything when you do this, or do you just go straight on into speaking in tongues mode?
Yeah, it's teenage fury.
All right. So go ahead and roll with dark.
Okay. 2 + 1. Come on, come on, come on, come on.
Okay, so that is a 6.
Yeah.
I think what happens is he laughs, a full-throated laugh. I always knew there was more to you than met the eye, Alistair. But you're all wrong turning that on me. You know what has to happen. Chloe took me down, and you have to take her down. Justice has to be served. And he doesn't wither, but
Okay.
you do suddenly see this shimmer in his image, and you see him broken and bloody again. And then he's back with the glamour of his beauty. And the anger that you have towards him, I think you recognize that he actually is dead.
Mm.
Still.
Yeah, okay.
And that Chloe is the one responsible for him being dead.
Okay. Right.
And so we'll cut away from you there
Okay.
and see how you respond there. Let's see. Let's turn to Chloe. We haven't heard from her just yet. You went looking for August, and you saw him. Actually, you may have seen him actually walking away with the Fairy King. Let me just see one thing. Is there something that you would like to do here at this juncture, Chloe?
So I saw August walking off with the
Fairy King.
Fairy King. Okay. Have I basically lost them, or is there any way to kind of get connected with August?
Yeah, let's say you could try to follow August if you wanted to. But as you're walking, I think you do, out of the corner of your eye, see Alistair, and you see Flip the same way Alistair sees him.
Okay.
So those are the two things on your in your eyesight right now.
August. Dead X. Okay. I wonder if I need to make a move here to
Possibly to keep your cool, you mean?
I don't know. I mean, if I
What's
see
it like to see him? Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, maybe I would approach Alistair. But that would have to be a keep your cool kind of thing at this point.
that makes
Because I mean, I would need to go to Alistair and be like, what the hell are you doing? Who is this? What is it? But I think I would have to summon up a lot of courage to do that.
Mhm.
So I'm gonna do that. So that's rolling with volatile, right?
No, are you trying to keep your cool? It's with cold.
Oh, that's with cold. Okay. I want to say that's also pretty bad for me. I'm not sure. Okay. It's gonna roll. That's a 7, but what's my cold stat? That's a -1, takes me to 6. Okay.
So much experience happening here.
Yeah. I was supposed to name what I was afraid of. I'm afraid that Flip is real and or is going to get me.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And I'm trying to approach, but it's your call if I'm successful.
I think you approach into their line of sight, Alistair. Now Flip is just behind your shoulders, and he's got his hands on your shoulder, and he's looking straight over your shoulder at Chloe, and he's saying, "There she is. Are you going to let her get away with this?" And you feel very, very angry. You could roll to keep your cool.
Okay. Yeah, I'm gonna do that.
Usually with fear, but I'm gonna use it for anger here as well, because you're getting caught up in his anger,
right.
because of your miss on the past roll.
Okay. So
Roll with cold.
roll with cold. Okay, good. Cold's not bad. The best I could do.
Wow.
There you go. 13.
Yeah. So despite that, you do keep your cool. And you gain insight into the situation. So I guess you could ask me a question and take one forward to acting on that information.
Okay. Is there a vulnerability in Dead Illusion Flip that I could use?
Is there a vulnerability in Dead Illusion Flip that you could use against him?
How's this, Jose? Would some form of physical, not contact, but like a punch, would that break the illusion?
Yeah, let's say that.
Okay.
That the illusion could be broken with some kind of physical harm to him. Yeah.
Okay. That's saved for later, right? That's +1 for.
Yeah,
okay.
and you've got a +1 on acting on that information. So
okay.
And Chloe, just coming back to you for a moment with your miss on that. I think you hear a voice in your head, that familiar voice, and she says, Oh, look, he's come back after all. I did my best to get rid of him, but he has some other allies now. You'll never be safe from him, Chloe. Even I can't protect you now. And how do you respond to that, Chloe?
Well, what should I do?
I'd run if I were you.
I'm going to try to run back to Belinda.
Okay. Let's give you a runaway move on that then.
Okay, that one's with volatile, right?
That one is with volatile, yeah.
Okay, it's also a -1. That's even worse. That's a 5.
Wow. I think Flip himself steps forward and grabs you by the hand. You've stumbled. He grabs you by the hand. And he says, "Where are you running off to, Chloe?
Oh
Guilt gotten the
God.
better of you?"
Oh boy.
And we'll
Yeah, go ahead and I'm thinking. Come back to
think
me.
about that.
Yeah.
And cut from that. Belinda, you're seeing this.
Okay.
How do you respond?
I mean, I was thinking about sneaking into my father's study to steal that relic, but this is much more pressing. Yeah, I think I've got to grab a spear off the wall.
That's right, there are spears.
And, walk on over. I mean, storm over, more
Storm
like it.
over.
But yeah.
Charge to the rescue.
Well, let's not be hasty and drawing conclusions here. And I will, tell him to get the fuck away from her.
Stay out of this. This is between Chloe and me.
How did that work out last time, asshole?
Well, it's going to work out differently this time. Stand aside. And then he goes and he's trying to drag Chloe, who into the out of the garden towards the woods.
I mean, I'm gonna put a spear through him.
All right, you want to lash out physically?
Yeah, I mean, no, but yes.
All right, roll with volatile.
Yeah, not our strong suit in this group.
Woohoo!
Okay. It's a 10 for everyone watching.
Everyone watching, that was a 10. I think you put the spear right through his gut, and he doubles over, and the illusion cracks, and he appears, this mangled, animated corpse that he was before, but he's fallen to the ground and is grasping the spear that's sticking out of his gut. And all the partygoers turn and they begin applauding for you. What a lovely show. What a lovely show. Everyone's very happy that this has happened. Let's cut back to August for a second. August, you're with your father, and you're walking down one of the paths, and yeah, he's saying, he says to you, if you come with me, and he points in the direction of the woods to my world, I could take good care of you, August. I could teach you who you are. We could even bring your friend with us. Alistair, is that his name? For company. A little taste of your old world. Are you ready to move on? And of course your mother would join us. Either way, your mother is coming with me. But I'd love for you to be here as well. We can be one happy family. You've never belonged here.
Mm. So is my mother still with me, or is it just the two of us?
Just the two of you, yeah.
Okay.
What would August do?
Yeah. Because I'm just thinking of like what August actually knows versus like what is like established we know as the as players.
Yeah.
I think I'd like to visit at least.
Well, it's agreed then. You will come to visit. Now, there are some matters for me to attend to at this party. The host has been impolite with me. So, but I will come and fetch you as soon as it's time to return. Go find your friend. I think he might need some help right now.
Yeah, I'll go.
All right, let's come back to the carnage and the applause. Chloe, how do you respond?
I'm going to shriek and fall back against Belinda. You can catch me if you want.
I mean, I guess I can't resist that, you know. Spear or no, you know. Maybe I say,
yeah.
here, Alistair, take this.
Hold it.
Hold a spear, which is attached to someone else.
To flip.
And I'm babbling incoherently, shrieking, what the fuck is that? What the fuck is that? What the fuck is that?
And Alistair, as you look down at Flip, and you're actually holding the tip of the spear that impaled him, or the handle of the spear that impaled him. You see that he's beginning to crumble. And not only has the illusion fallen apart, but it looks like his actual form is falling apart now. Do you say anything to him?
His reanimated corpse is beginning to crumble.
Yeah, beginning to crumble, yeah.
There's got to be a cheesy kiss-off line that I can come up with.
You can think about it if you want.
Yeah, I'll have to think about it. You know what? I'm just gonna sort of kick at the pile, push it off the spear, and wipe my slipper tuxedo shoes off on the side of the grass, like I got dog shit on them, and I'm just sort of trying to get it off on the grass. We can turn and walk away from them. Actually, I'm gonna turn and walk towards August,
Mm.
or look for August, I guess.
Yeah, no, and August
August
is
is
coming out
out.
through the crowd. The crowd's clapping, and they've gotten distracted by something else, so they're beginning to turn away. But August comes forward through the crowd. And what do you say when you see Alistair, August, with the spear and the mayhem?
And the sphere still has someone on it. I
Kind
think
of
I
a
found.
someone. It's like he's falling
Oh,
apart a bit. Yeah,
yeah.
you probably can't recognize him.
Wow, lots happened since I left.
Where have you been?
Okay, it's a long story. My dad's here apparently, and
I thought you didn't know who your dad was.
yeah, like I said, it's a long story. And he wants me to go visit him and where he lives, and he was offering if you wanted to come too, we could visit together.
Is it somewhere fun? Somewhere better than this boring old town?
I assume.
And whither thou goest.
Oh, that's sweet.
Yep. Make some poor decisions together.
That's right.
And then Billy runs up to you, Chloe, and Belinda, and Alistair, and says, and actually all four of you are together right now, and he says, "You guys, the shit's gonna hit the fan. Run now!" And behind him, you see all the statues that were blindfolded. The blindfolds are falling off, and the statues are stepping off of their pedestals. And the guests seem just obliviously happy with all of that, almost in an ecstasy. And the first statue to reach a guest pulls the guest's head off, and and I'm going to assume you all run, but let me just check in. What exactly do you do, Belinda, when you see this?
Yeah, I guess I'm telling Chloe to. We'll talk about this later. Whatever I would have said to her post flip, and yeah, I guess running seems like a good option. Because has this happened before, or is this a new thing?
No, this is a new thing. This doesn't
Okay,
usually
yeah.
happen at this party.
Just checking, because you know.
Just checking. And I can imagine that maybe you run off through a secret passage or something, something that can get you out of the garden.
Yeah.
And August and Travis, August, you turn and you look over your shoulder, and you see your father with his hand up, beckoning you.
Yeah, I gesture towards him and take Travis by the other hand and walk towards him.
And again, you're taking this kind of circuitous route that's not the direct beeline. And as you're walking through all the guests are being attacked, and you see Eustace grappling with one of the statues. And then suddenly there's a flash and you're gone. And I think we will stop it there and move to epilogues. Yeah, I think that's the right timing for this. So with the epilogues, it could be soon after what we just saw, or time has passed, and you can give just something that gives us an insight into where your character is, and where they're going, or where they might go, and it can be as open-ended as you want. So how about see if anyone's willing to volunteer to go first, and we'll just go in character keeper order from that person. Gives people a moment just to kind of gather their thoughts and see if they're ready, if anyone's ready for an epilogue.
I can go.
Okay,
If so what we see is Alistair in the massive library in the Fairy King's Palace, just reading through all of the section on hexes. Just pulling out books, just surrounded of like basically a pile of books you can only sort of see his eyes, and he's got a pen he's chewing thoughtfully upon.
Perfect. Okay, Belinda.
I mean, I think the switch in skins would be to Serpentine, you know, a member of a failing dynasty. And so, you know, all intents and purposes, you know, we see Belinda doing her usual thing. People are still afraid of her, but maybe it's it's no longer a how do I put it? It's a fear that's had to be backed up with demonstrations now. You know, demonstrations of power or not.
Mm-hmm.
But again, I think we see that Belinda is not happy with this new dynamic, right, in town that she has to deal with. Like, she would rather be anywhere else doing anything else. But this is kind of what she has to do now.
Bite the bullet. All right, great, thanks. August.
Oh, I think we see August at the Fairy King's palace, like we see Travis. And I think that what we see is that August exploring the rooms of the palace until there finally comes to one that sticks for a moment. And I think it opens into this room that is like overgrown. And I think it is the place he sees, it's the place, it is like overgrown with ancient corpses, and each of them is like this is the place where the Fairy King has entombed each of his past sons or something. Yeah, I think that's it. Set up for season 2.
Whoa, scary music playing in the background. Great. And Chloe?
I am going to spend my advance to take the true love move from the mortal, and I'm going to target Belinda with it. And I don't know what that looks like exactly if we're watching this on a TV screen, but Belinda's kind of become the new object of Chloe's obsession. And I think that maybe Chloe is like gazing at a picture of Belinda like on her phone or something like that, and then a shadow crosses over it, and the Shadow Queen is none too happy about it, and we kind of leave it at that.
Okay. Shadow Queen's still around. She's hard to get rid of. Okay, then that's a wrap, everybody. Thank you so much. I will stop the recording.